Heyo guys, this is Dkbot with desktop commentaries. Now, as you can see, I'm playing a Death Knight. Now, again, as usual, this is going to be a leveling guide for Death Knights. Now, I'm not a big fan of Death Knights personally, but I'm trying to cover every class as a quick leveling guide, so here we go. So, I haven't spec'd into anything yet in these talent trees, but I'm going to show you guys what they can do. Now, blood is the tanking spec of the Death Knight. Now, there's a tanking spec and there's 2 damage specs, so you can't heal on this. There's healing ability, and in blood is a healing thing, but you can't really heal others too much. So, blood gets, as they cast Hot Strike, which it's a strike that does up to 2 additional. It strikes 1 target and then up to 2 more around it, causing 100% weapon damage, and then 272, that's based on level as of the moment, and then it gets 25% less damage on each target. And then if you have diseases on the target like pestilence or plague strike, stuff like that, it gets increased to 10% each time. Then there's Veteran of the Third Wall, which is it increases by 9% and your XP by 6. Blood Rights, whenever you hit with Death Strike or Obliterate, Frost and Unholy runes will become Death runes. And a Death rune is, as you can see up here, you have all these runes. When a Death rune comes into play, it can be any type of rune. Like, you can use it as a Frost rune, you can use it as a Holy rune, or you can use it as a Blood rune. Doesn't really matter. And then there's Vengeance, which is exactly like the Warrior one, which is every time you take damage, you gain 5% of the damage taken as a power up to a maximum of 10% of your health. Which I think is pretty cool for tanking classes. So then there's Frost. Frost is a damage spec. Now Frost Strike is you hit the enemy instantly and cause 100% and 10% weapon damage plus 1 or 2 frost damage. Again, that's based on level. Then there's Icy Talons, increased melee attacks by 20%. That's good for DPSing. And then there's Blood of the North. Whenever you hit with Blood Strike or Pestilence, Pestilence is a disease, as I covered before. And Blood Strike, you get right here. That's where your stat moves. The blood runes you have will become death runes. So blood runes are these ones right here. And I think death runes I covered already. So then Unholy, it's another damage thing. This one's, I like Unholy. It's one of my favorite of the, Blood and Unholy are my favorite of the 3. So the Scourge Strike, which is on a Holy Strike, that deals 100% weapon damage, and then plus 207, which again is based on level. In addition, if you have disease on the target, you deal an extra 12% of the physical damage, done as shadow damage. So, yeah, so that's actually, it's a pretty good attack. Then there's Master of Ghouls. As you guys know, as a death, you can summon a ghoul, which is like a guardian for 30 seconds, I think it is. I'm not 100% sure anymore. But with Master of Ghouls, you can summon it, and it stays as a pet. So it doesn't go away after those 30 seconds. It stays as a pet like a hunter would have. So, then it reduces the cooldown by 60 seconds. I don't know what the current cooldown for it is, but that's a lot. So then you get Unholy Might, so you get increased strike by 10%, and then Reaping, when you hit with Blood Strike, Pestilence, or Festering Strike, which you guys get later on. The runes spent, so say you spent 2 Blood runes and 2 Frost runes, they will become Death runes. So if these 4 would become Death runes. So that's all pretty cool. Blood is tanking, so tanking is mostly dungeons in my eyes, but you can't PvP with it. You can PvP with all these, because it's all damage based still. So I would advise tanking, obviously, tank, dungeon running, raiding with blood. Frost, I would suggest PvPing, and by the way, if you level alone, you might want to go blood, because you get a couple healing things. You get worms that follow you around and heal you. It's a damage, pretty cool. Frost, it's damage, so I'd say dungeon run, and you can do PvP if you're good enough, because it has Icy Talons. That's a good benefit for the rest of your teammates. And there's Unholy, which you can summon that ghoul. You have extra strength, and you can just make blood runes, death runes out of nowhere. So that's a good PvP class. And overall, just all 3 are basically balanced classes. I'm not gonna show you the trees. I gotta do this fast. Blood, as you level up, you can make it so you heal yourself with worms, do a bunch of stuff. But then they get the dancing rune weapon, which is Blade, comes out of nowhere, basically, and it fights with you. Howling Blast for Frost. It's like a cone effect, I believe. It does 685 frost main level to all enemies within 10 guys. Oh, so it's a AoE, area of effect. Then Unholy gets Summon Gargoyle, which it bombards the target with nature damage modified by the Death Knight's attack power, persist attacks. So I think those are all pretty balanced classes. Again, I'm not a huge fan of these guys. These guys kind of seem cheap to me, but whatever. So then for gear, basically I see a Death Knight as an overpowered warrior with just some extra cast. So get basically warrior gear. Strength, agility's not like really needed, but you can get it. Strength and stamina is really all you need, and really high armor, like armor count. So that's pretty much it for the Death Knights. The starting area pretty much gets you to 58, I believe, and it gets you a bunch of talent points. So you'll be up there. You'll be close to getting your last level thing, whatever spec you go into. I'm probably gonna go Unholy Blood since those two are my favorite, and a lot of people do it. But so I might go Frost just to be different. So this is gonna be Dkbot signing off. See you later.